fundamental issue now before our people. I believe that the majority of the brave people of the United States will, day in and day out, make fewer mistakes in governing themselves than any smaller class or body of men, no matter what their training, will make in trying to govern. I believe again that the American people are as a whole capable of self-control and of learning by their mistakes.
And instead it's Roethlisberger on a keeper diving, and does he get there? Yes, he does. The linesman came in, it looked like he was going to spot it, then he came closer, and Roethlisberger play. If Mike Holmgren's coaches upstairs tell him that they want this to be challenged, you can challenge this play. You take a look. Does the ball get to the goal line? I take it back about the guys upstairs. This is up to the replay official now. Now, one thing about Levy you should know, he has seen fit to change the call on the field only 23% of the time.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
In March of 1986, the NFL adopted a one-year system of limited instant replay of officiating calls. The replay official will watch replay or replays on one or both monitors and complete his review within a reasonable period of time, probably 15 to 20 seconds.
Well, we had replay in the period of years where it was 1 year at a time. It was 1986 to 1991. At that time, Jim was assigned to work a tremendously important ball game.
Tunney. Now Tunney's going to, I think, talk to McNally. This is a critical call, and he's going to talk to McNally upstairs.
We get a call from Art McNally. We call him the IRO. He's in the booth. Some people call him God because he's up there in the sky. And he's making the call. But he tried to communicate to the officials, and the communication system broke down. And I had to leave the field to go over behind the Chicago Bear bench to pick up the telephone, and he said, "We ruled that play a fumble." I said, "Yes, sir," but I always call him sir. I said, "Yes, sir, but I ruled incomplete forward pass and blew the whistle." And he said, "That's right. When you blew the whistle, you killed the play. There'll be no touchdown for the Bears. It'll be fourth down, place the ball on the 19-yard line, give the ball back to the New York Giants, now go and announce it to the crowd." You know, you want to go home, you want to get out of there. This was a tough call. And I've looked at that play on instant replay 100 times on film. I still can't tell whether his arm was going forward or was going back. If it's going forward, it's a forward pass. If it's going back, it's a fumble. The instant replay looked like a fumble. I still can't tell. But the point for me was I've got to focus on my next play. I can't go through the rest of the game thinking, was this a pass or a fumble? It ain't going to work. It's going to hurt me.
Pass interference, offense, number 26. The penalty is accepted, 10 yards. It'll still be second down.
Cunningham and Jim Tunney having a discussion. And if Tunney can find
reset to 30.
Administrative stoppage now, so they'll set the 30-second clock.
See, I'm surprised that we will keep the 30 and 45-second clock on the field. The field judge will time the 30 and 45-second clock.
Second half, the fog came in, and when you, it's like your headlights in a fog. When you show your headlights, it blurs back at you. So the lights in the stadium hit on the top of the fog and it moved back. Terry Bradshaw was in the booth. Terry Bradshaw came down the second half and called it from the field. I asked Buddy Ryan, the coach of the Eagles, and Mike Ditka, the coach of the Bears, what do you think? They said, yeah, let's go ahead and play. Let's keep on playing. They want to play. We want to play. Keep the game going. We need to get it along. And it really didn't affect the game. In fact, one kickoff, the Bears tried a handoff where they switched handoff like we did in grammar school, and they got tackled right away. It didn't fool them at all. So the fog really wasn't a factor. But Jim Gray, the announcer for NBC, was there interviewing afterwards.
With the referee, Jim Tunney. Thanks, Bob. With me now is Jim Tunney, the referee for today's game. Jim, how close was it, and how close was the decision to call this game?
There were several times during the third quarter that we looked at the conditions and saw that it might be possible for us to call the game. The decision, as you know, Jim, is in my hands as a referee. I was in contact with Don Weiss, the commissioner's representative, giving him information that we could see both goalposts the entire second half. And pretty much most of the time, there was no less than 50 or 75 yard visibility as far as we were concerned on the field. Our consideration, of course, is for the players on the field.
I have tremendous respect for you. You did the Ice Bowl, but I was down on the field in the third quarter, and I couldn't see both goalposts or a 50-yard range.
Well, you see, that's the difference between announcers and referees. The referees have such great eyesight that we can see both goalposts.
Some of the players have complained. Some of the Philadelphia Eagles have said it was very difficult. Randall Cunningham told me that it took him totally out of their offense. He couldn't throw more than a 10-yard pass. Is that fair conditions for a player?
I'm sure that there are many times that there are unfair conditions in ice and snow and blizzards, but the National Football League wants to play the game as best we can under the conditions that we have, and we felt that with conditions were possible to play, and we continued.
Appreciate you joining us, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Nice to be with you.
Jim Tunney, let's go back to you, Bob Costas.
All right, Jim Gray, thanks a lot. And touche for Jim Tunney, pointing out something that probably is very valid, that the referees have much sharper eyesight than announcers do. But, you know...
Here's a thought, Terry. The Vikings and the 49ers getting ready to play